Hello, this is Scott Baceno of telecoms.com here at the Ovum Digital Futures 2018 event, and I'm talking to Julien from Facebook Workplace.
Exactly.
So that's not regular Facebook, it's a different thing. Why don't you tell us what that is first of all?
So that's pretty funny because today there are a consumer conference and an enterprise conference, and for once, Facebook was on the enterprise side.
I see.
So we actually launched 2 years ago Workplace by Facebook, which is basically a Facebook for the enterprise. It's your private Facebook. You control the data, you control the content, and you basically have a full control around what's happening in your platform.
So my understanding, so I've got to admit, I didn't know Facebook was doing this before this. So I'm picturing the Facebook that I'm on as a consumer, but just transposed into the workplace and then restricted to the environment of my company. Is that more or less what it is?
Yeah, that's correct. So we do integrate with Office 365 and all the other directories. So you manage the provisioning and authentication system. And once your people are there, then good things happen.
Right.
Communication.
So that's what I was going to lead up to. Why should I bother? I'm already on Facebook anyway. We do have various systems within my company for internal communication that have varying degrees of effectiveness. Really easy question for you. What's so good about your one?
I mean, if you think about it today, probably the most popular communication tool in enterprise is WhatsApp at global level. Yeah.
Cool.
Every single
in my
day,
place, I'll say it's email.
Every single day, you have 64 billion messages sent.
Right.
Of course, it's a mix of consumer and enterprise. But when you talk to store managers, when they want to engage with their frontline managers, the teams,
they
don't even have emails. They have
group.
Nothing, these people. Yeah. They have posters. That's all they have. So they just create a group on WhatsApp. It's good in a way, but it's really bad.
You're not going to slag off WhatsApp too much, are you? Because it's owned by Facebook.
Yeah. No, but what's quite interesting here is we are helping companies to take back control.
Right.
Around confidentiality, security, support, and of course, like from a legal perspective as well. So we see a lot of adoption across the retail industry, services industry, with highly decentralized workforce, and actually a lot of frontline managers who have nothing today to communicate, collaborate with their people.
So, I think you talk about collaboration. I think anyone who works in any sort of reasonable sized company can see the inefficiencies that are in there, the needless meetings, the email chains that half the people don't need to be on, all these sorts of things, or just ways of sharing. As a journalist, it's not necessarily efficient how I get onto my site and how I can let other people onto the site. So can you tell us a little bit, it can be about your product or just in general, about sort of workplace collaboration, some of the stuff that you have observed about that?
What we've seen, again, we have 30,000 companies using Workplace, from Royal Bank of Scotland to Deliveroo. What we have seen is basically 3 key use cases. It's not so much about Workplace, but 3 pain points, in companies. The first one is top-down communication.
Right.
Like you as a CEO, you want to announce a merger. You're gonna write an email.
Yeah, to everyone.
Okay, how many answers will you get? Probably 0. Or someone will probably reply, but only to you. And maybe this guy had actually an amazing question, and maybe this question was actually relevant, for many other people.
Okay.
So actually, it's really a one-way communication. With Workplace and this type of solution, you will create a group with all the employees. You will write a post, and people will just comment, ask questions, and you will have threaded comments. Even better, you can add a picture. You can add a video. How can you do that on email?
Yeah, certainly.
Or you will do that on the intranet, but your intranet is most of the time not really mobile ready.
No.
And it's very painful, and it's not social. And the second key point that we've seen is this sense of community. So let's say you are frontline managers, you are working for Dixon's Car Phone, and they are using Workplace. And a customer is coming and asks you a question. You don't have the answer. What you're going to do, you're going to look around. Hopefully you will find another employee who will ask the question. It's not scalable. If you're on Workplace, you will just go to the group like TV, Sony, Q&A group. And you will ask a question, guys, what about Sony versus Samsung, blah, blah, blah. And someone will pick up the thread, boom, answer. And you will get the
So you're tapping into your collective knowledge a lot more
efficiently. Collective brain, exactly. We want to create collective brain, collective intelligence, at some point memory for the company. The last piece, it's probably more advanced, and I know it has been discussed today around AI and a couple of other things like this, but it's really about automation.
Okay.
So basically on Workplace, you will find as well the same bot platform as on Messenger. And today on Messenger, we have 300,000 developers building bots. That's massive, like for Air France or KLM or banks in the UK. And all these technologies now are actually available as well as part of the workplace platform. And so we see companies creating like very basic bots like interviewer bot. So basically 30 minutes you have an interview with someone, the bot will ping you with a CV of the person,
right.
the job desk, the name of the person, so you are actually ready, for the interview. So these kind of things, just to automate.
One last question. I know you're not on the consumer side, and don't worry, I'm not going to ambush you with sort of talking about consumer side, but I'm aware of in social media, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, that sort of thing, there's lots of stuff in the press about some of the downsides of it. What do you do with these sort of more constrained workplace applications? Like, for example, you're talking about this instant collaboration. CEO says something, people are now free to speak, but most people are going to be scared about jumping on a thread initiated by a CEO because they're worried it might get them in trouble or something like that. Do you ever think about those social considerations, but specifically in the workplace?
That's a great question, actually. I think it's a journey. It's a journey. You don't have to change overnight. But the fact is today, if you look at values, especially of the new workers and the youngest ones, in the workplace, they want openness.
Yeah, it's what they're used to.
They want to ask questions. They want to get answers. So if you don't provide this anyway, they will do this outside the organization. Another thing as well is, I don't think that all the good ideas are coming from the headquarters and from the boardroom. No. I think a lot of ideas can be actually raised and discussed, from people in factories, in stores. And for that, you have to give them a voice and you have to empower them to use this voice. That's what we're trying to do.
Totally agree. Great. Okay. Thank you very much. Cheers.
Thank you.